his own grain of insanity around with him. So if you check each one of the human beings, they carry the same kind of insanity, madness in them. The world is so cruel that if a man does not have wealth in terms of money, then they don't treat that fellow as fellow human being. All and anybody, all over the world, not in England, not in Australia, not in India, not in Pakistan, everywhere on the world, these three things should be free. Hello students, I am Anil, lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Mysuru, the Temple of Excellence. Today in this session, we are going to look at a poetry which is titled Money Madness, written by D.H. Lawrence. This is Mr. D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence was a prominent 20th century English writer. He is an English writer. He has to his credit several novels, short stories, poems, plays, essays, travel books, and translations. So he has touched many different genres in writing. He is noted for his novels, especially Sons and Lovers, The Rainbow, and Woman in Love. So most of his novels are somewhat like controversies, but they are widely accepted by the readers. In this poem, Money Madness, the poet perceives materialistic perspective of his fellow human beings. So in this poem, the very title itself says Money Madness. Here, the poet perceives materialistic perspective of his fellow human beings. The poet goes on to project a future which ushers in moneyless society. So, therefore, once we finish reading the poetry, we would understand that this poem reflects the future which is there, where there is a moneyless society. Money is our madness, our vast collective madness. So the very first statement itself says, money is our madness. We cannot say no to this. In this world, we all are running behind money. It is the vast collective madness. It is not restricted to one person, two person, or a group of people, but it is a collective madness. And of course, if the multitude is mad, the individual carries his own grain of insanity around with him. Here, the poet says, and of course, if the multitude is mad, if everybody is mad, the individual carries his own grain of insanity around with him. So if you check each one of the human beings, they carry the same kind of insanity, madness in them. I doubt if any man living hands out a pound note without a pang and a real tremor if he hands out a 10-pound note. So now he says, I doubt if a man living hands out a pound note without a pang. So if you notice, people can easily give out a pound, that's all. And a real tremor if he hands out a 10-pound note. If somebody takes out a 10-pound note, that is the real tremor. There is real danger. We quail. Money makes us quail. That means we crawl behind money. Who makes us crawl? Money makes us crawl. It has got us down. Money has got us down. That means the money is controlling us. We grovel before it in strange terror. We stand in front of it. We fear money and we stand before it with strange terror. And no wonder, for money has a fearful, cruel power among men. So why do we fear money? Why do we fear the rich? Because there is no wonder, because money has a fearful, cruel power among men. So those men who have much money, they are treated as the most powerful people amongst us. So therefore, money is very powerful. Therefore, we fear people with money. But it is not money we are so terrified of, the poet says. But it is not the money that we are so terrified of. It is the collective money madness of mankind. So here he highlights the exact point which makes us fear. That is the collective money madness of mankind. The entire mankind is giving so much importance to money that the entire world has become money mad. So it is the money madness of the entire crowd that is creating fear in us. For mankind says with one voice, how much is he worth? So how does that question of money create fear in us? Because here the sentence is, for mankind says with one voice. Wherever you go around the world, there is one question that terrifies us. What is that question? How much is he worth? What is your worth in terms of money, in terms of wealth? That is the question. So that question terrifies everybody. The second question is, has he no money? First one is, how much is he worth? Has he no money? Then let him eat dirt and go cold. So here the world is so cruel that if a man does not have wealth in terms of money, then they don't treat that fellow as fellow human being. So here that the sentence is, then let him eat dirt and go cold. So that person does not get food or shelter. And if I have no money, the poet says, if I have no money, they will give me little bread, so I do not die. People have a little bit of mercy in everybody. What do they give? Not generously they give. They give little bread so that the person does not die. But they will make me eat dirt with it. So with that food, is it good food? No, with that food, people will make me eat dirt. So that is the kind of madness people have. I shall have to eat dirt, I shall have to eat dirt if I have no money. So he repeats that same thing, saying, if I do not have money, I shall have to eat dirt, I shall have to eat dirt. So that is the harsh reality that is going on in this society right now. It is that I am frightened of. Here he stresses on the point. It is that point I am afraid of, or I am frightened of. And that fear can become a delirium. So this fear can become like an hallucination, delirium, a fear. It is fear of money mad fellow man. So this is money mad fellow man. This is the fear of people who have gone mad with that of money. We must have some money to save us from eating dirt. So this is the truth. So we must have some money at least. Why? To save us from eating dirt. If we do not want to eat dirt, then we should have some money, because the entire society is money mad. There is money madness in the society. They judge us with the money that we have. So in order to avoid this situation of eating dirt, we should have some money. Then the poet says, this is all wrong. Whatever I have said so far, is everything wrong according to the human nature? Everything is happening in the society, but this is all wrong. Whatever has happened so far, whatever has been explained so far, is wrong. Why? He says, bread should be free. Bread means food. Food should be free. Shelter should be free. Fire should be free. To all and anybody, all over the world. So here, the entire human nature is explained here. What does the poet say? Bread, shelter, fire should be free, free, free. So we are all human beings. Why are we running behind money? Why should we provide money to get bread, money to be in a shelter, money to be near the fire? So what does this fire mean? Food, shelter, and clothing. That is the basic needs of human beings. What do we need to survive? We need food, we need shelter, and we need clothing. So these three are the basics. But what is happening in the society? We are running behind money. We are competing with each other, unhealthy competition, to accumulate money. After accumulating money, what will happen? We discriminate people based on the having money or not having the money. So here the poet says, ultimately, bread should be free, shelter should be free, fire should be free. To whom this should be free? To all and anybody. All and anybody. All over the world, not in England, not in Australia, not in India, not in Pakistan. Everywhere on the world, these three things should be free. We should make sure that these things happen. We must regain our sanity. So the poet is deeply hurt. He says, we should regain our sanity. We should regain our senses about money. We should understand what money is and why is money used. Not getting mad at money and running behind it like insane people. So he says, we must regain our sanity about money before we start killing one another about it. So this is happening currently. So he says, before we start killing one another about it, it is money. It's one thing or the other. So either we all should get mad or we all should get sanity. We should understand what is money and we should cure ourselves from this money madness. So this is what poet says in the poem, Money Madness. There are certain terms in the poetry. So they are this. Multitude means the masses, the uneducated and vulnerable ordinary people. All the people, not the rich, not the poor, everybody is affected by this money madness. A pang, sharp, intense or distress. Nobody would give a pound. If somebody is giving a 10-pound note, his heart would be beating very fast. Tremor, a shaking or trembling movement caused by fear. Quail means tremble, lose heart. Grovel, to behave in a servile way. That means to become slaves of money. Delirium, an excited, dreamy state most often seen in serious illness. When a person is really ill, he loses his senses and he starts hallucinating, seeing different things which are actually not there. That state is called delirium. Therefore, in this poetry, Money Madness, the poet is actually criticizing how a society behaves when it comes to the question of money. The entire society, human race, is affected by this money madness. So this money madness is not good. When somebody has this madness, how they behave, they give all due respect to money and they forget human nature. Therefore, finally, when we come to the middle of the poetry, the poet says, everything that has been discussed, that means money is controlling us, we have become slaves of money. People judge one person with the amount of money that he or she has. Everything is not right. So this is not good. So what is good? The poet explains in the next stanza. He says, food, shelter and clothing should be free for all people across the world. So that is when we regain our sanity. We understand the worth of money. So when that thing does not happen, people even go to an extent of killing each other for money. So therefore, this insanity must stop. We should understand money is for serving us. We are not there to serve for money. But people have all got influenced by money, that money is so powerful that people are behaving like slaves to money. Therefore, the poet says we have to regain our sanity. There is only one way or the other. That is, we are the masters of money or we are the slaves of money. Either we become slaves of the money or we should regain our sanity and give justice to humanity. We shall meet in the next class. Thank you.